off the cuff. Everything we say brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff. Walking by faith brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
Yeah, I see y'all.
Everything we say brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
And the truth of the
We
matter
walking
is,
by faith brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
Isaiah trying to have us on here all night.
We can't glaze over that though. We can. Oh my goodness.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, good people? How you doing? How you doing, man? We back in the building, man. Your boys off the cuff. We're here. Listen, I'm Isaiah, also known as Zaya.
Will Parker Jr. is in the house.
And Pastor Roman D bringing up the rear because you know your boys are
Off the cuff. Woo! Come on, come on. Fellas, what it do, what it do, what it do, fellas?
Roman D be cracking me up, boy. That guy, boy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you did the echo? You did it? Hey. Oh my God. Y'all was excited on hitting these applause. I didn't even get a chance to really hear it and listen. Oh man. You know what I'm saying?
Good in the hood. What's the dealio, fellas?
Man, oh my God, man. I'm good, Pastor Roman D. How you doing, bro?
Oh man, I'm doing wonderful, getting ready for this weekend, baby.
Hey.
What's going on
Doubling
this
up.
weekend,
We
Pastor
got
Roman?
weekend
Tell us about
service. We got weekend service, boy. We talking about difference makers. Oh my goodness, it's been crazy up to this point, and it ain't gonna do nothing but get even more crazy. We've been doing our 7 weeks of purpose, 7 love weekend services, and the 7 witness encounters, because we're believing for 70 people to become members of Alive Church in these 7 weeks. We're
on,
believing
man.
agreement with you, my brother. I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah, my brother.
Hey,
so
I'm in
if y'all
agreement.
want to be a part, y'all can watch us on Sundays, 10 a.m. You can watch us on YouTube, The Alive Church KC, baby. You can go in there. We got all types of stuff. We got I'll Be Your Twos, God's Promises. We got older messages, and I believe that it would just bless you.
Oh, come on, y'all.
Good
We
stuff.
showing some love in the building. Come on. Difference makers. Come on, difference makers. Hey, that title is heat. That title just, hey, it's ringing all kind of different. I'm like, what he gonna be talking about in this one? You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's legit.
Hey, we getting in because, at the core of it, we're encouraging people to use their testimonies to literally help impact people for Christ. Because, we know people are dealing with a lot of stuff. They're hurting. They're in pain. And yes, they may look like they're good on the outside, but they're struggling on the inside. And so it's time for God to raise up some difference makers who are not ashamed to tell what they've been through, who are not ashamed to tell what God has brought them through and make that impact in people's lives. Say, hey, he did it for me, and I believe he can do it for you.
Come on.
Yeah.
Testimony. Yeah, I believe that. I believe a testimony can really change, the course of somebody's life. Them hearing it like, man, it happened for them. I know, it can happen for me. So yeah, hey, that's big. Shout out to Pastor Roman D, The Alive Church, Kansas City. Check him out, YouTube. Come on, somebody. Yeah, praise God. Listen, y'all, man, we in here today, man. We brought some heat. Some Cajun spicy chicken heat. You know what I'm saying? And we with the fellas. And we want to talk about a real interesting topic today. And we're going to be talking about should you or shouldn't you? And man, Will, let us know, bro. Let us know, bro.
Listen to the people out there. Last week, we hit y'all with can you or can't you? So if you didn't get a chance to see Can You or Can't You, go back. We're on demand, Lit TV, LitTVNetwork.com, Lit TV. That's right, LitTVNetwork.com, or on your Roku app, or you can go to our YouTube page. But go back and check out Can You or Can't You. This week we're going to talk about should you or shouldn't you?
Man.
So it's really a continuation on what we started last week. We just flipping the words a little bit different. Because I think last week, fellas, what we figured out was all the things we talked about, you really could do it, but it was more, should you do it? So this time we're going to talk about, should you do it or shouldn't you? So I'm going to kick this off. I'm going to let Pastor Roman D start it off. Should you or shouldn't you go to church?
Oh,
Should you or shouldn't you?
Right, this is a good one because people right now saying, "Hey, church is not necessary. You are the church," and all this stuff, and you got to be very careful. This is how I look at things sometimes. Some things are true but not true. Yeah, they are true but not true. And so let me first give my answer so y'all know where I believe you should go to church.
Come on,
you
bro.
should go to church, especially now. Now here's the thing: you have to find the right church for you. Because here's what the world has done. They lump church all into one.
Yeah.
To try to say church is monolithic, that they all think the same, worship the same, preach the same, got the same people in it, when the truth of the matter is every church is different. Even those in the same denomination, there's just a different flow, a different style because it has different leadership. And so I think it's important for people to understand you have to find a church that works for you. Every church is not for you. If you're a younger person, you don't want to go to no traditional church. There's no knock against the traditional church, singing hymns and things of that nature, but that's just not your flow. It doesn't mean it's wrong or bad or negative. It's just not your flow. And so I think people need to really look at churches, really need to experience churches. You need to find out what you or your family needs. Can that church meet those needs and things of that nature? And then you just got to follow God. You got to go where God tells you to go and where God, but you have a choice in the matter. You have a choice in the matter. So my answer is yes, for sure. You should go to church.
Come on. Hey, I agree with that, man. I agree with that. I'm gonna, continue in that same vein. Yes, you know what I'm saying? I believe you should go to church. And listen, I want to say this because, this is so big, when as you're attending church and you're going to church, you know what I'm saying? It's not just for the sake of just going there, just, participating. It's growth. You know what I'm saying? It's learning to grow. You know what I'm saying? Learning to, be able to develop relationships with, Christ-like individuals, you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, like if you're going to church, you know what I'm saying? There's somebody that's in there that could be very beneficial for you. It's meeting together with people. I'll give you a great short story. I went through an issue, a struggle, with, alcoholism, which was one of our last, topics we talked about on the last show. And my two brothers here, Will and Roman, shout out to the homies. Come on, man. You got to have them in the building, man. If you ain't got boys holding you down, accountable, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Walking with you, helping you, coaching you, you know what I'm saying? Instructing you, teaching you, you know what I'm saying? You got to have that in the corner. But I do want to say that, one of the things that they helped me to begin to see, you got to have, that in the church. So I'll say yes, because, you know what I mean? There are some people in the church that might not have those same struggles, but God uses them as, brothers or sisters, as influencers, or not even, that's a good word to use, but he uses them as vessels, you know what I mean, to kind of impart in you what needs to be given, so that way you can keep moving. So yes, you have to go to church, no matter what you do, what's going on in your life. It could be upside down or whatever, the church is not the judge, it's there for support and for help, you know what I'm saying? And so yes, you should go to church. Go to church. Now, there are some situations where, you might not be able to make it, but there's no excuses. There's online, you can do online church, you know what I'm saying? All of these things, you know what I'm saying? But, to come into the house of the Lord, man, David was like, yo, I was glad when they said, let me come into the house of the Lord, because he knew he was going into a place where God was. So I'm telling you, yes, you should go to church, go to church, go to church, go to church, go to church.
That's good stuff, man. Yeah, I'm in agreement with y'all. I definitely think you should. I think both of you brothers brought up some valid points. I want to say this. I think when we talk about should you or shouldn't you go to church, we need to help the people understand what is church. And on one of the last couple episodes, we talked about this a little bit. What is church? Well, we know the church is, we are the church, the people, but right now we're talking about the physical building. And anytime I think about the church, I'll repeat this from one of our other episodes. I think about church being a hospital.
That's good.
It's
I remember
helping the people that are sick, the people that need healing. That means you're depressed with whatever issues you have. But church is also a school. It's a learning institution. So when you think about those things, and you talk about people that have given their life to Jesus Christ, people that have confessed their life in love to Jesus Christ, we call ourselves Christians, meaning we're Christ-like. We're followers of Christ. So you should want to go to school per se to learn more about Christ, to learn more about how he thinks you should live, to learn more about how he will bless you if you're obedient, to learn more about your God. But you also should go to church for healing. There's some broken people out here, man. There's some depressed people out here. Church can help you heal. Church can help you grow. That's what you said a minute ago, Zed Beats. It's a place of growth. So I definitely think you should go to church. I think also one of you brothers talking about the fellowship. Isaiah Beats, I think it was you. The fellowship, man. That's how you fellowship with one another. You start learning that I'm not in this by myself. You know, one of the great things about church is like any other place. Far as work or school, you find common people that's dealing with common things.
That's good.
That don't mean you're going to be super tight with everybody. You're going to have, I know we talk about people grouping up, but it naturally happens because you find people that's similar or even opposite from you. That's going to help you strong. That's going to help you get stronger. So, man, I definitely think you should go to church. Now, Zed Beats, you added a caveat to the conversation. I'm going to let Pastor Roman D emphasize on this because we're talking about going to church. Now, I think the different generations, and we know they classified, you got the baby boomers, Generation X, Z, millennials. You know, all these different classifications is literally age differences, basically. You know, so we got the baby boomers, which is my parents, our parents. They go to church. I don't care, pandemic or not. They know church. They're gonna go to church. That's just what they know. You don't have to worry about them showing up. You don't have to worry about them missing. If they ain't gonna do nothing else, they gonna go to church. That generation and the ones before them, they're gonna go to church. And I think Pastor Roman D, you mentioned this, and I'll let you go in on this a little bit more. But you got our generation is in the middle. It's more in the middle of it. I call us the hybrid generation because we'll go to church, but we also can adjust to the online and the technology. So Pastor Roman D, since Zed Beats kind of already brought this out, what do you think about the online services versus going in? If you as a pastor, if you had a choice of people coming into the house or watching online, I know they can do both. I know they can do both, and they should be doing both, honestly. But if you had a choice, what would you rather? And let's just say that the pandemic, because I know we're coming into a second phase of the pandemic. Numbers are going back up, but let's just on the pretend mode. What if this just strictly went away? Would you rather, as a pastor, and Zed Beats, you can go in after Pastor Roman D, since you kind of opened up the gates and the doors of this. As a pastor, Roman D, would you rather people just kind of stay online or people come into the physical house?
That's a great question. That's a great question. And I would, for me personally, what I would prefer them come into the house. Okay. And this is why, because I'm an atmosphere guy. I'm an atmosphere guy. There's just something about when you're in the same place
I agree.
at the same time. And we see this scripturally, we see this biblically in the Bible, how when the people of God came together, even in the midst of persecution, even in the midst of trying times, that something just happens when you're together. There's a focus, there's a
Come on.
concentration,
good.
there's a oneness of the mind that just happens when you do it. Now, I'm not knocking online, because some people who would never come in are taking the time to watch and being connected to. So online is wonderful. It is great. I believe, the church needs to be hybrid. But if I had to choose, I would choose the in-person, because it's just an atmosphere you come in. It is the presence of God coming in among a people who are unified, desiring to seek his face, desiring to be like him and to learn of him. It's just something that happens. It's kind of like this. Would you want to experience heaven online, or would you want to go?
Woo, that's
That's
good
good.
right there,
That's
bro.
good.
Come on.
Would you want to experience heaven online, or would you want to go?
That's
And
good.
I would venture 100% of people would say, hey, I want to go. Don't just show me no pictures. It's wonderful if you can see it, but I prefer to be in that atmosphere, to be around the people. And then plus, I'm a people person.
Yeah.
It's you can connect with people online, but you can't. It's hard to touch people online.
Yeah.
Whereas the in person, you can do more touching, you can do more connecting, you can have that unified mind, so that the Spirit of God can dwell in the midst of you.
Come on, man.
That's
Come on,
good,
y'all.
bro.
Come on. Listen, that's so good. That's so good. That's so good. Let's pause for a second on that. He said, hey, would you rather experience heaven online, or would you want to come in? Come on, man. Come on. That's good. Oh my goodness, man. I'm agreeing with that. I'm in 100% agreement with that. It's something I thought about, bro, Will, when you brought it up, you was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you rather like to be online or in person? I think that, in person as well, because it's something about, being in person, like, that exchange. It's something, it's a physical exchange. And it's like, you can actually experience so much more being in the same room with somebody rather than watching something online. You know what I'm saying? And like, Pastor Roman D, you said it, like online is a really good thing, but to be in the atmosphere, to be in that, it's a different anointing. You know what I'm saying? It's a different something that comes over you, not like in a shocking way, but in a way that's like, oh my God, like we are all together with one mind, one purpose. We're serving, you know what I'm saying? And we are here underneath the our God, our awesome God. So in church is the biggest place that I've experienced those things. You can't experience it online. You can lift your hands and raise your hands to a song, but when you're in a congregation of worshipers and you're in the building, oh my God, like it's an explosion, and it's just something that you can't experience online per se. You can fellowship, fellowship means friendly association. So you can kind of have that online, but you can't connect with the physical, that really can take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like in the gym. If you're in the gym, you go there, you work out, and outside it's a completely different experience. You know what I'm saying? So there's two different atmospheres. You know what I'm saying? You can still be productive at home. You can still be productive, right? But it's a different atmosphere when you're in the gym, when you're around other people and, you're feeding off their energy and they're feeding off your energy. Because Pastor Roman D said it, when you're a people person, you feed off of other people's energy. When you just connect with others like that. When Jesus went up to the mount, he took, a couple of his disciples with him. It was something about them being together on one accord when they were all the day of Pentecost. It was something about them all being together. And I think that, yes, I always say in the house of the Lord is the biggest place to be. Like, so online is cool. You know what I'm saying? But hey, in the house of the Lord, hey, man, oh my God, man. Hey, I got to say it one more time before I pass it to Will. Listen, would you rather have heaven online, or would you rather come into it? Come on, man. Hey, Pastor Roman D, man. Hey, that's the bar of the day.
hey, that's big, man. And fellas, I agree. Listen, I'm partnering. I partner with all kind of churches. I'm a part of Transformation Nation Michael Todd. I partner with him every month. I'm a part of Rock City, PMJ, Pastor Mike Jr. I partner with him every month. I'm a part of World Changers, Creflo Dollar. I partner with him every month. But I am a member of Canaan Worship Center.
Wow.
My local church.
That's
There's
good.
something about the local church. You know what I'm saying? And as you're partnering with all these online folks, which is great to do, I love them. It's needed. You actually can't even say today. It used to be a thing where people say, I ain't learning nothing at my local church. You can't use that excuse anymore because there's too much preaching and teaching going on online.
That's good, bro.
You need to make sure your man of God is living with integrity and making sure he's living by the word of God. That's what you need to get caught up in and serve the local church. Not that you can't, not that you shouldn't be learning from the local church, but let's just get for real here.
Come on, bro.
It's a lot of local churches that's doing a great job, but they're only doing what they can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So I partner personally with a lot of different churches. I partner with a live church. You know what I'm saying? My boy Pastor Roman D Church. I'm a partner. You know what I'm saying? I give offerings and seeds into these ministries all the time, but I have my local place, and I think this is worth repeating. Pastor Roman D said it, where the atmosphere is set
There's
like
something
no
about
other
it.
place. I mean, I have seen, listen, I'm gonna pass the rock to Pastor Roman D and let him talk about it since he experienced this. But him, his wife, and a couple other brothers I know went down to down to Michael Todd to Transformation, man.
Oh, I heard about that.
And I was online. I was online experiencing it, and it was mighty.
Yo, Matthew came back crying. Matthew was
Hey, bro,
crying.
bro.
He did a post on
Bro.
Facebook like, bro, it's something
Damn,
out here.
I was online watching it. It was powerful.
Wow.
But I didn't get what they got. I was at home online, and I thought it was amazing.
Wow.
I felt the Spirit of God. I knew he was in the house. He was in my house, and I knew he
Praise
was
God.
in the house, but I didn't feel what Pastor Roman D felt. Tell us about it, Pastor Roman D.
Hey, shouts out to Michael Todd and Transformation Church, Transformation Nation. Oh my goodness. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I believe a live church was birthed in that conference.
Oh,
I was battling. I was struggling. I was dealing with, the calling on my life, and not necessarily the calling. I understood I was going to be a senior pastor, but I was like, God, how should I, what direction should I go? What should be my plan of action? And that message through that whole weekend, all you have is all you need. All you have is all you need.
Bro. Come on, man.
And that atmosphere of work, the worship was so crazy that even before the praise and worship team came out, even before there was a video, people was already worshiping God. People was already celebrating the goodness of God. And to be in that atmosphere, it was a place that I believe everyone in that place who desired to hear from God heard from God in that weekend. It was the crowd, the anointing, the power of God was so thick, and it was like God just came and sat down right next to me. It was like he said, it was like everybody, over 4,000 people, everybody else disappeared. And it was like God just sat down and said, hey, let's talk. This is the direction I want you to go. Stop looking at what you don't have. Stop looking at you don't got this and you don't got a big name and a whole bunch of people don't know you and all this other stuff. Just go that I've called you and told you to go. God has showed himself mighty and showed himself strong. Here we are, a live church. I'm on Lit TV Network twice a week, and we're less than a year old. We don't do a year celebration until the first Sunday in October of this year.
Praise God.
And we've done mighty things. We've sown over $6,000. We've given and sown over $6,000 up until this point. It might be closer to 7 now because we gave some more seed in these past couple of weeks. And so God is just blessing. God is just moving.
Praise
but
God.
that atmosphere, it set the foundation. It gave me the assurance and peace that I needed to move forward in what God was calling me. So that atmosphere is important. And let me say this. It's not necessarily that it was in a building. It was the people that was there. It was the people, because here's the thing we got to understand. The church is not the building. The church, the building houses the church. The people are the church. When you're connected to some people who love God and desire God, when you come together, God will show up and move supernaturally and speak to you as if you're the only one in the building.
Wow.
Zaya Beats.
Listen,
I didn't get that at home.
Listen.
I didn't get that at home, bro.
And Will, he said something that was so big that I don't want to glaze over this. He said that Alive Church was birthed in that atmosphere. Come on. Woo. He said it was birthed in that atmosphere. So the question, shouldn't you or shouldn't you? I would say, just to rest it on what Pastor Roman D said, I would say yes, because, to come to church, I would say yes, because you never know what breakthrough is in the house for you with these other believers. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, y'all, we can go on with it, but we got to hit this commercial break. But oh my God, I feel the Spirit of the Lord right now. Like, hey man, listen, y'all, we about to go to commercial right quick. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be right back. Listen, man, please don't leave. We got some more exciting stuff we want to talk to y'all about, but we'll be back after this.
Yeah.
I want to encourage you and let you know, like Habakkuk here, you know what? Put your strength, put your hope, find strength in God. Find strength in the Lord. That's so important. Listen, we must depend on God for strength in every situation. I must say that again, because every situation every day is another day that we have to find strength in the Lord. There are so many things that happen to us along the way, that want to discourage us, that want to, get us to a place of ruin and give up. Listen, He is your strength when people start talking bad about you, man. Listen, have you ever been in a situation where people have said some evil and rude things about you? In fact, they could have been true. It could have been some true things that they said about you, but because they purposely said it with an intent to harm you, you know what? It's important and necessary to know that. Listen, you can find strength.
Join me tonight on YouTube for another powerful In the Word message. Most definitely.
Join Pastor Roman D and Lady E. Sunday 10 a.m. to begin to be a difference maker. Watch on YouTube, The Alive Church KC, or Facebook, Alive Church, or thealivechurchkc.com for difference makers. Are you ready?
Hey, what's going on, y'all, man? I hope you guys enjoyed those commercials, man.
Yeah.
But listen, man, we was on fire, man, before we actually went to that. And listen, we want to keep this rolling, keep this going. Man, listen, I want to talk about, actually, I'm going to say it, Will, and I want you to actually open it up.
Okay.
Should you or shouldn't you have sex before marriage?
Wow. Okay, so
It's a sensitive one.
This is a real sensitive one, bro.
Hey,
Like,
people don't like to hear this right here, because this is real talk.
yeah, man.
So should you or shouldn't you shack? And should you or shouldn't you have sex before marriage? Now these go together, because the truth of the matter is, if you're shacking, you're getting it in.
You getting it in.
Let's just keep it 100.
Yeah.
If you are shacking, and for those out there that don't understand what we mean by shacking, we mean living together before you're married.
Yeah.
That's what we call shacking.
Yeah.
And if you're shacking, maybe you ain't slipped up the first week, or the second month or the third month.
Man,
But you're going in eventually.
it's coming.
Cause
coming.
you're walking around the house with your drawers and panties and all that stuff
Hey,
down and up.
yo.
And he looking at you and you're looking at him.
And hey, come on, bro.
And so if you're shacking,
hey,
you're getting it in.
in the
Just
words,
keep
in the
it real with
words,
us and keep it real with yourself.
in the words of Pastor Roman D, we got to keep it a buck. We got to keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
So I'll say this: should you shack? No. Should you have sex? No.
Yeah.
They're both two no's.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get to the point, especially as Christians.
Yeah.
The world gonna do what the world does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so to those of us that has accepted Christ, Jesus Christ as our Lord, personal Savior, we have to get to the point where His Word and the love we have for Him overrides our current desires. We got to get to the point where it overrides our current desires. Now, you can still have those desires within within how He made it up, which means get married. You can get it in as much as you can. You have a license.
Come on, bro.
To like my rest in peace, my boy. With Silver Spoon on Boomerang, bang, 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 bang.
Bang, 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 bang.
You have a right
Yo,
to bang, 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 bang once you get that license.
most
But
definitely.
before you get that license, you are out of order and you're in sin. So shacking is one of the things I think it's a big controversy for some reason. It's a controversy amongst church people, and a lot of people think it's okay. A lot of people think it's okay. So I would say, should you or shouldn't you? Nah, man, you shouldn't do either one.
Yeah,
Pastor Roman D, give it to me.
Hey, I would agree 100% with you, my brother, because here's one of the arguments for shacking. Well, we got to see if it works. And let's keep it 100. We always say this, it's levels to this.
Yeah.
Even if you're boyfriend and girlfriend and you live together, that still is not on the same level as two people married. There's different responsibilities. There's different levels of commitment, because let's just keep it 100. You still can leave whenever you want. If you're boyfriend and girlfriend, there's nothing tying you there.
Come on.
There's nothing. You can walk out and not deal with that person ever again. The only issue you may have if your name is on the lease, that may be the only issue you have. But when you are married and you made a covenant and you stood before God, you can't just walk out. You can't just do what you want to do.
Yep.
So in the aspect of shacking, you can't just say, well, we're testing it out. We're trying it out, because really you still seeing the fake person. Yeah, they gonna try to keep the drawers, like keep that in their room. You go in their room and it look clean, but then after you get married, they gonna let it all out. Gonna let it all out. Hey, I was listening to John Gray. He said he thinks dates should be 5 hours long, because that's how long it takes for medication to wear off. You don't know. You don't know if they crazy or not. And so really, when you shack up, you're really not getting the full them. You're not getting the full commitment. They're more committed. If they got their name on the lease, they're more committed to the landlord or to the apartment complex or wherever than they are to you.
Yeah.
They can leave you at any moment. They can't walk out on that lease or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then I don't think you know what the enemy has done with sex before marriage. It has he has done a great job of making people feel like sex is no big deal.
Yeah.
Sex is just sex. I gotta get mine. You gotta get yours, and all this me attitude. Do you whatever makes you happy? And what we don't understand is that is the enemy's motto. That's the reason why he got kicked out of heaven. I will exalt my throne. I would do this. I would do that. And so we have to be very, very careful, especially as believers. The world do what they do. But my issue is you got believers. You got those who read the Bible, who say they believe the Bible, and still want to operate and move as the world moves.
Man, come on.
Listen,
Should you or shouldn't you shack before marriage, or you know what I'm saying, have sex before marriage, I would say I'm in agreement with my brothers, and I would say no. And here's why. Because I've learned through experience, and one of the biggest things that comes into play is that, like, listen, you're connecting two, and I know people might not want to hear it, but it's the truth. But you are connecting two bodies together, and these two bodies, right, that are operated by people that have minds and have will and have emotions, right? And so when you get these two people sitting down, laying down, or even in the same room, you might not even be having sex, but you are connecting with them. You know what I'm saying? You are exchanging feelings and, you know, ideas, you know what I'm saying? And that is the truth, you know what I'm saying? So one could be strong and say, listen, I'm committed to just not, you know, I'm committed, and speaking to the one that's saying I'm committed to living right and doing right. You know what I'm saying? You will be committed, but then, like, there's a weakness that comes, you know what I'm saying, with being in the atmosphere, you know. And to be honest, you know, if you're human, you know, you're gonna be in a situation where you see something and you weak that day, you're gonna want to actually go after it, you know what I'm saying? And so the reason why not to is because connecting those two spirits, you know, laying down, having sex, you know, you're gonna come away with something. You know, you're gonna come away mentally. When you lay with somebody, you become one with them. You know what I'm saying? There's a scripture in the Bible. God said, and I'm not, brothers, y'all can help me out with this. I don't know it verbatim, but God was talking about, should we give our members to a prostitute? You know what I'm saying? Or give our bodies to a prostitute. He was like, you know, we shouldn't do this, because don't you know that we become one with this? You know what I'm saying? And so the same would be true with just having sex with somebody that you're saying, oh, we're going to get married 2 years, or we're just dating right now. You know, it's just, you're becoming one with that person. You know what I'm saying? And y'all exchanging all of these emotions and feelings, you know what I'm saying? And my brothers could back me up on this. The soul ties, right?
There you go.
Will, you know about that. Roman, y'all the one that told me about these things. Y'all was, you know, counseling me on these things. So soul ties, you know what I'm saying? That's something that, yo, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not real deep in the trenches of that. I want to pass it to Will on this, because that's the reason why I say you shouldn't, because there's a consequence that comes with it. And that consequence ultimately could lead you either into destruction or, you know, into destruction. So Will, what's that, the soul tie vibe, bro? I forgot.
Hey, bro, hey, great, give me some, Zay.
Hey, come on.
Oh
Yeah. Hey, man, y'all hold me down. Listen, y'all come get this machine when I say it, bro. Like,
I've been saying it for 3 months. Ain't got nothing. Bought one and it was whack. I got to upgrade.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Zaya Beast, that
What's
scripture
up, bro?
was 1 Corinthians 6:15.
Corinthians.
It says, know ye not that your bodies are members of Christ? Shall I then take the members of Christ and make them the members of a harlot? God forbid.
Yeah, there we go. There it
And
is.
Zaya Beats, I'm glad you said that, because when you said that, my mind, that's exactly what I was going to talk about, was the soul ties.
Yes.
Because the truth of the matter is, a lot of people don't understand it and know about it. As Pastor Roman D said, sex is casual now. That is no big deal.
Man, and nobody talks about that.
Nobody
you know
talks about it. It's on the TV screen all the time. You can't catch a show without seeing somebody
bro.
getting down.
Man, it's in
when I was
everything.
growing up, when you kissed, it went off. It went dark. when the lips start coming together like
You serious, bro?
it went black.
Boy, this world is just going advancing in wickedness.
So, hey, I don't like giving the devil credit, but he's doing this thing with this sex thing.
Man,
and he's created this bond and this soul tie. Man, when you lay down with a woman, or if you're a woman, when you lay down with a man, and you're literally becoming one.
Yeah.
And every time you do it with a different person, you're becoming one with that person. That means different part of that person is coming onto you, and you're coming on to them.
Now, could this be in personalities? Oh, and
my goodness.
all of those things?
Depression. If you're depressed, you're giving somebody depression.
Come on, y'all.
Low self-esteem.
Come on, bro.
If somebody has low self-esteem, that's rubbing off on you.
Wow.
I mean, whatever it is, man, you are literally rubbing off on each individual. That's what we call soul ties. Soul ties. Soul is your mind, your will, and your imaginations, your emotions, and your intellect. All those different things. Every time you lay with a person, it becomes a part of them, and then you become they become a part of you. Your mind is linked. Your emotion is linked. Your dreaming, Everything is literally linked. And so that's why God ordained it as such, where when you lay down with your wife,
oh, wow,
it's
yeah.
okay to become linked with
Yeah.
her, because you're supposed to be.
And they become one
You're
flesh.
one.
Yeah.
Two separate individuals become one,
That's good.
and you're supposed to never go apart. So it's okay if your minds is in sync. It's okay if everything is in sync, because you're gonna work that out together.
That's good, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So that soul tie piece is super, super big, and we really need to do a whole lesson on it.
Yeah, I think so.
People can start breaking
I think
soul
so.
ties.
I think so.
And bro, Zaya Beats, that's why right now you got women and guys married, and then if they see somebody back in the day that it distracts them away from their wife, and they're
does.
liable to cheat
That spirit
because
is
their
strong.
soul is still tied with
That's
that person.
that spirit is strong. You're
Still
absolutely
tied,
right.
and they be like, I can't break it. I don't know what it is about her, but she does something to me. This
There it
dude
is,
married.
bro. Hey,
He
maybe we should
married.
do a whole, like you said, a whole series on that, or a podcast or something. Wow.
Because
Praise God.
here's the thing, the danger really comes in when you break up.
Yeah.
I liken it like women can probably feel this. If a woman who's ever got a bikini wax, eyebrow, or fellas, even some men who got the wax and they pull, and you remember when they pull off the thing,
Yeah,
and
it's
the
like-
pain and the hurt and all that comes, that happens every time you lay down, you sleep with somebody and you break up. You take notice every time they pull that thing
It's a
off of that
painful
person,
process.
there's a piece of the person that comes with the thing on it and
Oh.
everything. And so what happens is when you connect yourself with someone and you break up, you don't just break up, you literally rip apart.
That's it.
You're literally ripped apart, and you take some of them and
that's
you
good.
leave some of you in them. And so what happens is many people don't deal with the issues of the breakup. You know, I always say this. I say, even in football, if you get injured, you got to at least sit out one play.
Yeah.
There are people going in one relationship, out of relationship, jumping in another relationship, jumping in another relationship, jumping in another relationship, and never taking the time to heal from their breakup. So now you got two people who slept with so many people, who got all these connections to these other people. They come together, they get married, and they have sex the first time, and it's wonderful and it's great. But the more they do it, they start thinking, well, Johnny did this.
Wow.
Jerome did this. Keisha did this. And so now they're no longer having sex with their partner, with the person they're married with. They're now in bed those people that they still have attached to this, because they never dealt with the breakup. They never dealt with the hurt. They never dealt with the soul tie connection that they had, and they never broke it.
Wow.
They never, because sex is just sex. It's no big deal until it's a big deal.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Hey, Zaya
That's
Beats.
good. That's
Hey,
good.
Zaya Beats, before
What's
you
up, bro?
go,
Yep.
Pastor one of the examples we use, I want to add on to Pastor Roman D before you go. One of the slides we have on soul ties is two pieces of cardboard. If you glue, and you could do this at home, people, glue two pieces of cardboard together.
I remember y'all telling
Get
me
some
about
super glue, some glue, and glue them together. When you rip them apart, you're going to see on one cardboard, you're going to see the other cardboard. And on the other cardboard, you're going to see pieces of the other cardboard.
Wow.
Like Pastor Roman D said, when you rip those apart, both of those pieces of cardboard has cardboard from each other on there.
Yeah.
That's soul ties, man. That's soul ties at its fullest.
That's good. And you know, I was thinking as you brothers was talking as well, like you brought up something that was very important, Will, when you talked about how like the enemy had worked aggressively, like he's overtime, like in the craziest way right now when we're putting this in our TV shows. Nowadays, and this is the truth, nowadays, they are now, since they passed a law concerning same-sex marriages, we just watched a show last night. Every show that I'm seeing now, it is acceptable in every single show. You can't miss a show nowadays without that being in there. And it's so crazy that it's like, yo, it is what it is. It's like, like there's no like, yo, we can't do this because this is not right. It's just like, hey, this is the world. This is, you know what I mean? And it's like, yo, and it's like crazy. We seen in a movie a young boy about 10 to 14 years old connecting with a woman that was 20 to 26 years old, close to 30, in a movie, in a you know what I'm saying, a show. And what that shows us is what we're talking about is so real. This has become something that the enemy has used aggressively. And I always ask this question. I'm happy you brought that up, Will, because you said like even when you was young, they kissed, the lights would go off. The world that we're in now is so much of this going on. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're doing this podcast this show, because this is something that is going on, that this is the light. We are speaking about the things that are important. You know what I mean? Like the world is doing their job. They're getting all of these flashy cameras, all these different angles, all of these crew coming in, and they're working on these shows, and they are presenting that to the world. I thought about this the other day before I passed it to Will. Thought about this stuff. I said, what's so crazy is, I was up today at Walmart. We was getting a change on a tire, and the dude told me this. He said, we don't have a lot of people in here working, and we got all of these 20 cars, so it's going to be a long time before we get to your car. And I thought about what God said. Excuse me. He said the harvesters is plenteous, but the laborers, the workers are few. And so I thought about that, and that is what we're standing on Off the Cuff. That is what Off the Cuff is about. It's about working. And so, if you're coming to here and you're hearing this is a work, just like the enemy's doing the work with these TV shows. It just blows my mind that I'm seeing this. I mean, it doesn't blow my mind because I know Jesus said it was going to happen, but it's happening. It's in it's in every, Will, you said it, bro. If I watch Netflix, up at the top, strong sexual content, you know what I'm saying? Nudity. I'm like, yo, every movie. And it's even in our cartoons now. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It's just so amazing. So that's why I'm so grateful for this podcast. I keep saying that, but I'm so grateful for our show, our Off the Cuff, because this is what's needed. This light is resonating. And, I'll say this, Will, and I'm past it. This is what's so powerful. I was talking to a brother the other day. I told him, I said, listen, I said, this is so big. I said, with all this darkness around, the greatest thing about those that are walking in the light, we are now getting ready to make the loudest shout. And the reason why is because everybody's speaking the same language, but light. There's truth, right? So what that does is it speaks louder than all the other darkness. This is why the darkness has never defeated the light. You know what I'm saying? So as long as the enemy's doing these things, but as we're doing what we're doing, oh my God, man. But so I just wanted to share that because I think that, Will, what you said was so powerful and so profane, but I really wanted to kind of bring it out a little bit more so that those that are listening can really understand why we are doing this. This is our why, because we are the workers in the kingdom, and it's so necessary and important for people to hear this conversation. Praise God.
Yeah. Hey, shout out, hey, get them hand claps ready, man. Shout out to Pastor E.C. Weston and Pastor Michael Grubbs, man.
Yeah. Thank y'all.
Because this is what Lit TV, this is what this platform is all about.
Yeah.
It's not so much about Christianity. Don't get me wrong, them brothers are saved and they love Christ, but we also want to provide content even to the world to show the world and the people that don't know Christ that you can do things tastefully, still have fun, still laugh, still show a good movie without having all that foolishness in it. This is what the whole Lit TV family and this whole platform is about.
Yeah.
Because hey, y'all, we have to protect our kids.
That's big, bro. You're right,
it's imperative that everyone that's watching this show, that it's imperative that you talk to your kids about sex.
Yeah.
You can't even wait no more.
Yeah.
Because if you don't talk to them about sex,
come on, bro,
the TV is going to show them what sex is about.
The wrong thing, too.
They're going to show them it's okay to have sex. It's okay to have sex before your marriage. It's okay to have oral sex. It's okay to kiss another girl. It's okay to like another girl. It's okay to kiss another boy. It's going to show you this stuff. They're seeing it in school. They're seeing it on TV. So, man, we got to, as parents, we have to talk about this stuff a lot earlier than what we used to.
You're right, bro.
Because it's everywhere.
Man, come on, man.
Because the thing about it is, once again, we got to protect our kids, and one of the ways we protect them is by having this dialogue, seeing where they are, seeing some of the things that they heard. Because like Will said, is nowadays they're being exposed to stuff so young. They could be on the internet and type in the wrong word, and all type of stuff just comes up. They wasn't even looking for it. They was trying to find a cartoon or something. And the enemy's even, you think about this.
Wow.
The enemy is even using cartoons. Who is that aimed at?
Kids.
That is aimed at our kids. That is aimed at our babies. And so as parents, as guardians, as those who are supposed to be protectors and watchers over our babies, we have to have this dialogue. We have to have these conversations, because if you don't have it, about time you do have it, the enemy's going to have years of time that he's been putting his agenda, how he feels and what he does, all in their head. And it's going to make it even worse for you to have the influence that you need to have. But it starts with that dialogue, and that's why we're having these conversations, so that hopefully families can start having these conversations.
That's good.
People in relationship can start having these conversations. How was you grew up? What did you experience? Having all these different, and that's why we're going to continue to talk about different topics. We're going to continue to talk about different things, because we believe it is so needed, especially in the body of Christ. We can't just hide under the covers and expect it to get better. No, we got to put our foot to the ground. We got to start letting the world know, hey, this is what we believe and why we believe it. Because here's the thing. It seems like the church is getting more quieter and everybody else is getting louder.
Yeah.
Think about this. If a Christian tells about their beliefs, they're forcing their religion. But as a Muslim tells about their things, they're just dedicated.
Man, you speaking now, Pastor Roman D.
If
speaking now.
If someone speaks out of being part of the LGBTQ community, they're applauded. They're wonderful job. But we say Jesus, you don't want to offend nobody. Well, why aren't you worried about me being offended?
Yeah. Oh
and so I just think we have to just say, hey, this is what we believe. We don't hate nobody. We don't want nobody getting beat up for their lifestyle or their beliefs. We don't want nobody getting killed, no one getting murdered because of their beliefs. But we just want to have a right to be able to express ourselves and not be called homophobic because we disagree. Not because we hate prostitutes because we disagree with the lifestyle. No, it's not about hate. We love you. But we have to be honest with you at the same token, what we believe and why we believe.
Come on, man. And I want to continue to actually move in this vein, because this is real. This is really, really transparent, and this is good. I thought, Pastor Roman D, as you were speaking too, something that really hit me, connected with my spirit, was that that agenda is crazy how it's being pushed. But nobody looks at it as an agenda being pushed because it's accepted by a large amount of people, you know what I'm saying? Or it's accepted by the powers to be, the principalities, which is a ruler of a state. You know what I mean? It's amazing how the enemy will have one person in a city or a state or over an organization that can enforce a rule that say, okay, let's go ahead and put sex in here. Okay, let's go ahead and put same-sex marriage in here. You know what I mean? And that is a principality, is a ruler of a state. You know what I'm saying? And there's a ruler of a state over our industry, over the Netflix industry, which is why it's so difficult for us as Christians, you know what I'm saying, to continue to promote, because the powers to be, which is the spirit, the principalities, rulers of darkness of this age, they war against this stuff. They don't want this out there, but this is the most important thing. As we continue to share this dialogue, like Pastor Roman D said, what we're being honest and true, because the truth is what makes you free. Hearing the truth, seeing what's going on, knowing it, and being able to see, okay, and call it for what it is. Because when I was watching, I felt so uncomfortable. I'm like, why in the world, every good Lifetime movie, why is it that these people gotta have sex? What is going on? Like every time I get into a movie, like, hey, this is pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? But then all of a sudden, here they go, rubbing bellies. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man. Like, dang. Like, you know, I don't even want to watch it no more. Like, I got to guard my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because I know me, when I go in something, I indulge and I go deep into the roots. So that's why it's important to guard your eyes, to know what's going on, to hear what's going on. You know, should you or shouldn't you guard your eyes? You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? That should be a good one. You know what I mean? But I think that, like, seriously, you know, this is the world we live in, and I'm grateful, you know, for my brothers here. I'm grateful for this platform. Like he said, EC Western, we send a shout out to you, Pastor Mike Dubs. Thank you guys. Because, hey, those are the powers to be. You get what I'm saying? It has made it available for us, you know what I'm saying, to be able to share content like this. And, you know, I believe God is well pleased with this. And so, listen, those that are listening, like what Pastor Roman D said, you know what I'm saying, these are good conversations to have with your children, have with, you know, with your friends, and pass it along, you know what I'm saying, letting somebody know, like listen, you know what I'm saying, here's truth, you know what I'm saying, it's not wrapped up and pretty, it's true, it gets you full, it's something that is beneficial for your soul, it's going to help you out, it's going to, you know, it might be straight to the point and right, you know, in the spirit, but that's what we need nowadays, because the enemy is not wasting no time on these Netflix shows, y'all. He ain't wasting time.
Give me something there, Beast.
He ain't wasting no time.
Hey, listen, my final comments is this, man, before we wrap up. I was thinking about this while both of you brothers was talking, and while Pastor Roman D was talking, I had to do this real quick because I couldn't remember. But again, the kids are being exposed so many different ways. Beat, you said this earlier, but when we was young, you had to find the Playboy magazines. You had to know somebody that had one. But man, now it's at a click of a button.
Yeah,
man,
bro.
My kids know all of the music in the 90s because of TikTok. All of them. Because TikTok has commercialized everything. Man, I was on TikTok one day, and it's a guy. It's hilarious, y'all. He does these TikTok videos, and he throws these women up, right? And she get the dancer all provocative, and then he hit the screen and say, what color was that vase in the background? Right?
Dang.
And you got to watch it again, because you're bedazzled by the booty. You're bedazzled.
That's crazy, bro.
So check this out. I clicked on that video to watch his video because it was funny to me. Mistake. Man, even to this day, now when I go on TikTok, the first thing they show is a booty.
That's crazy, bro.
When you click on one video, it lines them up for you.
Man.
So if the kids click on one video, they got a line of sexual, provocative dancing and all that going on that again is affecting their eyes.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to be careful, man, as we're diving into social media, and parents, you need to be aware of this stuff because kids are being affected. And that's why the sex before marriage is so big.
Wow, boy.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Hold on.
give me
Let
some
give
hand
some-
claps,
Yep.
baby.
Yep.
Hey.
That's
and
good,
so once again, we do this to help people. We do this to impact people's lives. We're not here with a stick beating you up. We want to give you practical tools, practical tips that help you be able to live your life in a way that's pleasing to God. That don't mean you can't have fun. That don't mean you can't enjoy yourself, because God desires for you to enjoy yourself. So continue to follow your boys. We'll be here every Saturday, 7 p.m. Central, baby.
Off
The cuff.
Be out.
Off the cuff. Everything we say brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff. Walking by faith brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
Yeah, I see y'all.
Everything we say brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
And the truth of the
We
matter
walking
is,
by faith brought to you live. Roman, Will, and Zay off the cuff.
Isaiah trying to have us